Welcome back to Flow Sports and Flow Football, and we are moving on to Delta State, the Statesmen, and they make statements every time they take the field. This past season, they were co-champions of the Gulf South Conference and did make it to the Division II playoffs. We're joined now by head coach Todd Cooley. And, Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we also have Marlon Windham, the senior defensive back and all-conference performer, second-team preseason first team. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, we look at last season. I mean, it was a gauntlet of a schedule. You end up having to play a team twice in 1 year, but when you look at
Two
it,
of them.
yeah, two of them overall. How did you look at your season, and how did you think that it went as far as from start to finish?
I think anytime you win a championship, it's a good season. We're proud of what we accomplished. Obviously, at the end of the day, there's only going to be one team that's really, really happy, and we wanted to be that team. But when you sat back and looked at the body of work that team did, I was really pleased. The last 2 years have been really good for us, 21-4 the last 2 years. And right now we have a current 12-game road winning streak, which is a school record. And we have a chance to be the first team in school history to try to three-peat. So that's kind of what we've talked about in the offseason, but we just try to take it day by day. But I was pleased with our season.
Your quarterback was basically an all-everything performer, won a lot of big postseason awards. What has he meant to this team, and how do you replace him?
Well, I don't know if you can replace him. Patrick was an unbelievable leader and human being, and I just think that, the example that he set on being a teammate, number one, I think Marlon would agree with that, just the way he carried himself every day. I think that carries on in the quarterback room and throughout our football program. So he had a big impact on our program, obviously, and everything that he got was well-deserved at the end with his awards and everything. But, hey, we got some quarterbacks that are ready to compete, and I'm excited about them.
The standard is very high for the Statesmen. Total offense, 451 yards, 42 points a game. 224 yards a game rushing. It's an offensive juggernaut. When you look for a signal caller, what are the ingredients that you are looking for that person to lead this offense?
Well, you're looking for guys that make good decisions and, take the layups, as I would say. Make the routine play routinely, but also a guy that can erase some things. Patrick could erase some things. He could erase some bad play calls that I would make, and I'm looking for somebody that can do that as well. So.
Some people would say your team is loaded. When you look at the preseason all-conference selection, you've got a number of guys, particularly on the offensive line, that are there. How much do you tell them to wipe that out of their minds, but how much is it that they're looking to go beyond where they went last season?
I think that's there. I think every year, we start back in January and we talk about, hey, we're 0-0. This team, 2024 team, has done nothing. And that's kind of how we keep it in perspective. But, I like where our program is. Our young men wake up every day and for the most part, they try to make good decisions. We're young men. We all going to make mistakes, but they try to chase greatness. And that's kind of what we want to be about there. We don't apologize for trying to be really good. Maybe it'll happen this year, maybe it won't. But I like our team. I like young men like Marlon, who's been there and seen how it's supposed to be. And that's the thing that I think we got. We got enough guys coming back that have seen, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what practice is supposed to be like. This is how the weight room is supposed to be. And I think when you have those examples, it might be a little easier. But they're hungry. They're a hungry bunch right now. We're picked third in the league. We don't really put a lot of stock in that. But I think one poll came out. We're ranked 24th in the country. We didn't really – we thought I don't know. We're going to use that as a little motivation. But,
right.
Hey, we still got to spot the ball. We got to do all our work. It's all about us right now. It's about how much can we get better during fall camp and things like that. We've had a really good summer, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going into fall camp and take it step by step.
We're going to take a look at your schedule and what you have to face. If my memory serves me correct, you have 5 teams on your schedule that have played postseason in some way, form, or fashion. And when you look at it, you start off with Mars Hill, Missouri S&T. You've got at Wingate, Fort Valley, State Erskine. When you look at this schedule, it seems as though you threw it up against the wall and it all came out tougher, toughest.
Right. Oh, there's no doubt. That we're kind of used to that. It is a tough schedule. I think we're traveling. I did the math. I think we'll be in a bus 93 hours this year total. So we're kind of used to that. We're going to North Carolina, 3 times, twice, South Carolina twice. I don't know if everybody knows geography, but that's a long way from Cleveland, Mississippi out to those places. But our seniors wanted a tough schedule. They wanted that, and they were a part of that, and so that's kind of how we want it.
I hear you. Your defense, third ranked last season. How can they improve upon what they did last year?
Well, I think number one, what people need to understand is everybody knows that we go fast on offense, and in order to do that, you're going to play more snaps defensively. And I'm proud of what our defense has been able to accomplish. We were plus in turnover ratio. We were plus in sacks. That was big for us. I think if you look at, there's always room for improvement. But I like our defense. I think we returned 5 starters on defense, so we're going to have some new faces out there. We returned 7 on offense or 8. I can't remember, but we've got some experience over there. We got some guys that know what to do. I like what Coach Albersworth and his defensive staff do. And I'm excited about watching these guys play. Really am.
Let's talk to one of your defensive leaders, Mr. Marlon Windham. And Mr. Windham, first of all, the new guys that are coming on to defense, what have you told them about the expectations to be statesman defensive players?
Well, the new guys coming in, I basically just stated to them, the standard, what is allowed here, what's not, and the expectations. So, we have high expectations coming in, and just because you are a rookie or a freshman coming in, the standard, you still got to uphold it.
You are an upperclassman now. How important is it for you to lead by example and also using your words and your actions in the locker room?
Oh, it's very vital to lead by example, especially because, a lot of the young guys are watching now that I'm an upperclassman, as you said. So, just saying it really not going to be enough now. So you gotta follow your action with your words.
I hear you. This summer, what was it that you worked on as far as your skill to make yourself better going into this season?
A lot. I was in the sun a lot this summer, so my mental toughness has really improved, I feel like. And my hand strength, my grip strength, since I was putting up fences and stuff all summer.
So you say you put up fences.
Yes, sir.
Was this your first time doing that?
No, sir.
Okay.
It's my regular summer job by now. It's
Okay.
about 4 years.
So tell me about putting up fences. You put up wooden fences, chain link fences,
Black gate,
any
type of fence.
Any type of fence. So tell me a typical day for you.
All right. Well, so I was working with my daddy. That's how I got the job. But we wake up 6 o'clock, get dressed, get breakfast. Then we had to drive to the site. The hotel would probably be, it'd be different locations, probably 20, 30 minutes from the site. And get there about 7:30 to 8, and we just get started. First we get there, you got to dig the holes. Lord willing, it's a good day, cause outside, ain't no predicting that one. So on a good day, wake up. We there, get everything off the truck, dig the holes first, then we put the poles in the holes. Get that side, you gotta let that sit. Then you do it right, you can go on, roll up the fence, stack that up. Then when you get the fence up, you gotta tie it up. So we'll probably be done that day. That probably be a whole day that went by. Then we'll have to come back tomorrow, then tie it off, run the barbed wire, and just make sure everything nice and neat before you leave.
Now you're also trying to practice football at the same time, right?
Work out.
So regardless of where you were, you had to find space and time to go work out, lift weights, things of that nature. Was that somewhat of a challenge in your travels?
That was very challenging because we on the road every week actually. So I only get free time on the weekend. So on the road, they try to find hotels with weight rooms and stuff of that nature, but sometimes it is what it is. So you had to find a way.
I hear, and you found a way.
Find a way. We do hard things better.
Darn right.
I hear you. Coach, when you hear something like that from one of your players, and in the world that we're living in today, everybody's thinking about guys being just, baptized in money. Yeah. What does that say about some of the character guys that you have on your team?
That's a Delta State statesman right there. That's the kind of, that's the profile that we look for. That's the kind of guy that we want, a mentally tough guy, competitive through the end, a guy that's he just said it. We do hard things better. And that's something that we talk about. You talked about our schedule. You talk about our travel. You talk about everything. That's kind of how we've always want to be, we want to be that type of team that nobody wants to play. And we take a lot of pride in that. You might get us, and that's happened before, and there's a lot of great teams in this league. But that's kind of how we want to be. That's our mentality. And I think everybody thinks just because we throw the ball around a little bit and we go fast that we're not a physical. Sometimes we get lost, but we're very physical, mentally tough, and that's kind of how we want to be. And when we're looking at our recruiting profile or what we're trying to recruit, he's sitting right in front of you. That's kind of the perfect scenario for us. A guy that just plays hard, leader, just graduated, good grades, makes good decisions on and off the field, cares about his family, cares about his teammates. That's what we're looking for.
Coach, when we look at your schedule last year, you made it to the playoffs, but you had to end up playing your own conference teams.
Yeah, twice.
Right. What are your thoughts on the NCAA trying to tweak the way that they make the playoff selections and how you guys will end up playing? Because it seems as though, lack of a better term, is cannibalism.
Right.
you got to go up against a team that's you've already seen your best.
Right.
And then you got to go better than your best
right.
again in sometimes less than a month.
Well, what I didn't understand, here's what I didn't understand. We're sitting there, and it's all for the sake of saving money and flights, because NCAA doesn't want to spend any money. But then I'm sitting there and watching Belhaven, who's within our own state, Division III school, and they're flying out first round to play somebody. How does Division III and FCS have it figured out and we don't at Division II? Why have we just kind of thrown Division II to the side and said, well, that's what we've always done? Well, it's broken, so fix it. That's how I feel about it. It is broken. Let's fix it. Grand Valley shouldn't play Ferris first round. We shouldn't play West Florida first round. It just shouldn't happen. You're telling these young men you're going to the national playoffs. You're in the national, and you're on a national bracket. You're going to have a selection show and all that, and what a great experience. And they're playing Gulf South football again with non-Gulf South referees. Don't like it. I've been very outspoken about that. I'm outspoken about a lot of things they do, but we don't have enough time in this show to talk about how messed up it is. It's just, I like your term, cannibalism. It needs to change. It needs to change for these young men that have, hey, knock on wood, we'll be back in it. We'd love to be there, but we might not be. Don't know if we'll ever get back there again. But the last 2 years, we haven't been to a national playoff, even though we were in the national playoffs. We weren't in them. And I know there's going to be coaches say, well, he's just saying that because they got me. I don't care what they say. That's the truth. I mean, I've lived it. West Florida's lived it. Valdos's lived it. Everybody's lived it. It's, let's get a national playoff. Let's seed it, and let's pay for some flights, and let's make it a true playoffs. But NCAA is worried about other stuff right now. So
I hear you, Coach. Well, Coach, before we let you go, I need to talk about this unique game that you have.
Sure.
The pig picking game.
Sure.
What is the pig picking game? Because in my mind, I'm thinking we are picking pigs to cook at a later date. But is that? I'm just trying to figure out what it is.
It's actually a national barbecue contest now. All right, so you have all these barbecue cook teams that'll come in starting on Thursday, and it's basically a 3-day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, basically a 3-day party. Just to be honest, like celebration. You have all these. It gives all these guys an excuse, all these women and men to come out with their cook teams, and they get to compete. But it all ends with a football game on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. And, it's the most difficult practice we have every year is Friday afternoon because
the smell is
everywhere. Goodness gracious. It's everywhere. And it's hard because, Pup likes to eat. I like to eat. And it's hard for us to stay focused out there for a little while. But it's a great atmosphere, and if you've never experienced it, it's really something.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to you, the Delta Statesman. As we continue on here in Flow Sports and Flow Football, we'll have more of the Gulf South Conference Football Media Day. Stay tuned.